I think we're having some issues. Hold on. There. Okay, hopefully I am out there. We just had a little bit of issue there, but I think we're back again. Yay. Well, as I was saying, it's June the 11th and we have some live presentation here. As always, just to remind you that my live presentations, I have a little think about it, what I want to do, and then I just start working through some ideas alongside you. And I'm looking for some help. If you've got any ideas, if I ask a question, so for a suggestion, you can go ahead and put something in that chat box on the right hand side. I'd love to be able to work alongside you, and we'll see what we come up with. So I thought about some of the new products that Stampin' Up! Have recently bought out. New papers, new punches, and we have these 3 new colours in the families. One is called Copper Clay, Pecan Pie, and then we've got Wild Wheat. Now these 2 are of the new in colours that will be available for the next couple of years, and then this one, Pecan Pie, is a new core member of the families, and very interesting colours they are, and I think they go quite well together. So I was thinking about, okay, let's use those, and because of their colour range, I thought some vintaging would be good. I've done vintage projects before on my lives, as well as my other videos, and it's becoming one of my sort of favourite techniques. Now the other thing we have is a new punch, and this is called the Elegant Edge Tag Topper Punch. You can see it's still sealed in its bag. I haven't yet used it, so we're going to be using it on this particular project. Now whenever I have a new punch, I always check it out with some scratch paper, and this here takes a 2-inch piece. So I'm just going to get a 2-inch piece of paper. This is just ordinary copy paper. Nothing special. Now the reason I do this is when the punch is manufactured, they use some oil in the process that sometimes gets left behind, and I don't want to use it on my nice cardstock and find that it gets it gets on my card. So I'm just going to punch it a couple of times, and I can see it was well worth the effort. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little surround on those holes that looks like it's wet, and that's actually the oil from processing or manufacturing. So I'm going to do it a couple more times just to make absolutely sure, and I've still got a little bit there, so I'm just going to trim this off. So if you make sure you do that with your punches, there's nothing wrong with it. It just means that we just need to do a little bit of cleaning just to get that oil off of there. And I've just got a tiny piece, a little bit there, so I'm just going to get another piece of scrap paper to just finish off that. Now I'm not even sure I'm actually going to use this punch at the minute, but at least it will be ready. And now we're nearly done now. I've just got the tiniest little bit of oil coming through, and I'm just going to do it one more time. But at least it shows you how really, really pretty this punch is. So I've got it nice and clean now. Okay. Now I'm really, really happy. I don't know if you can see that, but there's absolutely, if I find the very first piece there, you can see that the oil is quite, there's quite a lot, and there's nothing on the latest one. So I'm happy with that, and we can get rid of all these bits. So there's the punch that I think I might use. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we'll see. And the reason I like this punch is because it has got sort of an antique-y, vintagey sort of effect, and I think it'll look quite pretty. And then I pulled this stamp set. Now this has been in the catalogue for a while, but it's new to me, and again, I've never used it. I only received it a couple of days ago, so I shall be using that. Now they haven't got the labels stuck on, and I have got videos on how to attach the sticky backs to these, but I think maybe since I haven't used it yet, I'm going to show you a newer method, a method that I've recently come across. And if you look, the labels are already sort of die cut, and they will go on like that. In the past, I used to just place them on there, but this is a way that somebody showed me, and I'm going to try it for the very first time, so I hope I don't mess it up. So I'm just going to get my tool like that, and I'm going to place it so that it is down on the block, and the bit I'm putting down is not the adhesive side, it's the clingy side. So let's see, make sure I know what I'm doing here. So I'm taking the backing off of my stamp, and I'm going to line up exactly, because I can see exactly where my label is to my stamp, and then I'm going to press it down firmly, and if all else has worked, I am just going to gently lift that off, and there I've got my stamp all lined up on my label. Isn't that smart? Now I can't remember who actually told me about that, but whoever you are, thank you very much. So I'm sure I'm going to use that dotty label. If you watch my videos, if you follow me live, you will know that I do love dotty labels, dotty stamps. And the other thing I love is the fact that this has got some type on it here, and then different sort of floral elements and some nice greetings, which I think we'll be able to use. So that is my sort of starting point, and I also pulled out a few embellishments which I think will go with my vintaging. So this is the Brush Metallic adhesive dots, and then I've got a few of the rustic metallic dots and another packet I found. So those are the bits that I have pulled out of my stash to use today. Right, so I guess our first point is what colours to use. So if you're out there and you've got any suggestions, I'd appreciate you saying something in the chat box. Let's work through the colours a little bit, and there's nothing to stop us using all three. It's just it's where, sort of what quantity. So we've got pecan pie, we've got wild wheat, and then we've got this copper clay. Oh, there's a bit that's been used. Copper clay. And I think the best with neutral, real neutral, that can go with that is vanilla. So I am going to use my vanilla in there somewhere. So really it's a case of do I use all three? Do I just go for like 2 of them? Oh, hey Hilda! Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate that. So I'm just trying to work on some card colours for doing a vintage style card. So, So, thinking, well, this is a nice big bit of card. Is this a half a sheet? Yes. So we could, okay, since I've got a whole half sheet, let's go ahead and say this is going to be my base. I'm going to make this as my colour base. How's your day going, Hilda? So I will just share with everybody that I wasn't here last week. My husband and I did a trip to the UK and we got back on Thursday. So I'm trying to catch up with various bits and pieces, but also overcoming a 6 hour time difference, which is a bit of a struggle at the moment. Right, so, oh, I'm good, glad your day's going well. So, should I put a layer of either the copper, what did I say that was called? I'm still getting my head around the different colours. Whether that's copper clay or the pecan pie, with a view to doing vintage. Let me think. I think I'm sort of, so I'm not going to do a full quarter sheet. I'm going to do, let's see, so a quarter sheet would be that. So if I do, say, 3 by 5, let's see what that looks like. Oh, where's my card base? Oh, there it is. So that would give me a bit of a border. I'm also going to cut my liner. Let's see, while we've got this handy. So this is just going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So that's going to be the bit that goes inside like that. That's where I'm going to write my 2U. Okay. I can see that some people have joined me. Perhaps you just let me know where you're joining me from in the chat box. I'd love to hear from you. Right, so that's what we've got. So I think I'm buffering at the moment. I hope you're buffering. Yeah, I think on. Look, it's okay. So I chose this embossing folder, because it does look a bit vintagey, in as much that it's kind of got some brick work and some, I don't know, rough patches. It's the best way I can describe. It's my embosser. Okay. So let's just hope. All right. Take some of it off, new ink around the outside. Black. I've got this yeah, but hey, the um, right. Let's put those out. One. That is very helpful. It was on later. So there. Had that nice big flower, didn't I? Let's use that. Oh, it would help if I put it on paper. I think I'm going to like that. Below, flat. Embellishment back piece. Inner